International Women's Day is a special day to celebrate women all over the world. It happens every year on March the 8th. On this day, people remember the hard work of women in history, think about gender equality, and show respect for women in society. Many countries have events and activities to honor women and talk about their rights. Some people give flowers to women, some write messages to say thank you, and some join marches to support women's rights. Schools, companies, and governments also take part in this special day. The history of International Women's Day is long. More than 100 years ago, women wanted better working conditions and the right to vote. At that time, many women worked in factories. Their jobs were hard, and their pay was low. They worked long hours, but they did not get fair treatment. Many women wanted change. In 1908, thousands of women in the United States marched in the streets of New York. They asked for shorter working hours, better pay, and the right to vote. They wanted their voices to be heard. In 1909, the first National Women's Day was celebrated in the United States. Women held meetings and gave speeches. They wanted equal rights. They wanted the same opportunities as men. They believed that women and men should be treated the same. In 1910, a woman named Clara Zetkin had an idea. She wanted a special day for all women in the world. At a big meeting in Denmark, she shared her idea with people from different countries. They all agreed. They wanted to support women together. The first International Women's Day was in 1911. Women in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland organized big gatherings and asked for their rights. They marched in the streets and gave speeches. They wanted to make the world better for women. In 1913 and 1914, more countries joined the movement. Women in many places started to organize events. In 1917, Russian women played an important role in history. They protested on March the 8th because they were unhappy with war and food shortages. Their protest helped bring change. Later, Russia made March the 8th a national holiday. After that, more countries started to celebrate this day. People understood that women's rights were important. In 1977, the United Nations officially made March the 8th International Women's Day. The day became more famous, and more people around the world started to celebrate it. Today, people celebrate this day in many ways. Some countries have a public holiday, and people do not have to work. In some places, women receive flowers or small gifts from friends, family, or coworkers. Many organizations hold events such as speeches, marches, and discussions about gender equality. Some schools teach students about the history of women's rights. Teachers tell students about important women in history. Companies and governments talk about making workplaces better for women. They try to give women more opportunities to grow. Some businesses offer special programs to help women become leaders. International Women's Day is not just a celebration. It is also a time to think about problems women still face. In many places, women do not get paid the same as men. Some women do not have the same job opportunities. In some countries, girls cannot go to school. They are not allowed to get an education. Many women also experience violence. Some women are not safe in their homes or workplaces. This day reminds people that there is still work to do. It is important to fight for a better future for women and girls. Many famous women have worked for women's rights. One example is Malala Yousafzai. She is from Pakistan. She fights for girls' education. When she was young, she wanted to go to school, but some people did not allow girls to study. She did not give up. She spoke about the importance of education for girls. In 2012, she was attacked, but she survived. She became even stronger. She wrote a book and won the Nobel Peace Prize. She is an inspiration to many people. Another example is Marie Curie. She was a scientist. She won 2 Nobel Prizes. She discovered new elements and helped develop X-ray machines. She showed that women can do great things in science. At that time, it was not easy for women to work in science, but she never gave up. Her discoveries helped many people in the world. Another important woman is Rosa Parks. She was an African American woman who fought for equal rights in the United States. In 1955, she refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man. At that time, black people had to sit at the back of the bus, and white people sat at the front. Rosa Parks said no. She was arrested, but her actions started a big movement for equal rights. She became a symbol of courage. There are also symbols of International Women's Day. The color purple is important. It stands for justice and dignity. The color green stands for hope, and the color white stands for purity. Some groups use a special logo with the Venus symbol. This symbol represents women. Many people wear purple on this day to show support for women's rights. Some buildings light up in purple at night. These symbols help people remember the meaning of this day. Each year, International Women's Day has a theme. The theme helps people focus on a special topic. For example, one past theme was Choose to Challenge. It encouraged people to challenge unfair treatment. Another theme was Press for Progress, which asked people to help women move forward. The themes help people understand what still needs to change. They give people ideas about how to take action. Many people support women's rights. Some are activists and some are regular people. Everyone can help. Men and women can work together to make society better. Schools can teach boys and girls about respect and fairness. Parents can teach their children that all people are equal. Governments can make laws to protect women. Companies can pay women fairly and give them good job opportunities. Small actions can make a big difference. International Women's Day is not only for women. It is for everyone. A fair society is better for all people. When women have the same rights as men, the whole world improves. Families become stronger, workplaces become better, and communities grow. This day is a reminder that change is possible. In the past, women fought for rights, and they won many battles. Today, the fight continues. International Women's Day helps people remember that gender equality is important. It encourages people to work together for a better future. People can help by supporting women, speaking out against unfair treatment, and educating others about gender equality. In conclusion, International Women's Day is an important day to celebrate women, remember history, and think about the future. It started more than 100 years ago and continues to be a strong movement today. Around the world, people honor women's achievements and talk about problems they still face. The day inspires hope and action. Every person can do something to make the world fairer. By working together, people can create a world where everyone, no matter their gender, has equal opportunities and respect. This special day reminds us that we all have a role to play in making the world a better place.